Okay, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to solve simultaneous equations, in which one of the equations has rational expressions. In this case, as we can see, we have in the second equation 3 over x and 10 over y. Although there can be many different ways in solving simultaneous equations, like the method of elimination, or if you want to graph the two equations, you can also do that. But I would like to solve this equation by a specific method, and that will be by substitution. So again, but when we use substitution, we work on one of the equations. We solve for either x or for the y, and then we replace the x or the y of the other equation. Now, this is not a typical simultaneous equations because of the 3 over x and 10 over y. Even the other side has a mixed number. So what you can do first is to simplify this equation so that it will look like the first one. Okay, so when I say it will look like the first one, we try to eliminate the fraction involved in the second equation. So how do we do that? So take note, for 3 over x and 10 over y equals 2 and 1/2. First, we can change 2 and 1/2 into 5 over 2. So we have 3 over x plus 10 over y is equal to 5 over 2. So 5 over 2 is basically 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 equals 5. So that's 5 over 2. And then once we simplify the other side, we can now start eliminating the denominators by multiplying both sides of the equation by its LCD. And the LCD of x, y, and 2 should be the expression that contains 2, x, and the y. Okay, so this expression will eliminate the denominators one by one. So when we multiply 2xy to the first term, and that is 3 over x, you should see that the x will get cancelled because of the existing x on the LCD, which is 2xy. So 3 will be multiplied to 2y after cancelling x. And then for the 10, so this is over y, the y gets cancelled with the y, so 10 will be multiplied to 2x. On the other side, 2 will be cancelled with the 2, so the 5 will be multiplied to x and y. Okay, so to further simplify this, just multiply the numbers, and if you have some terms to be combined, then you need to combine them. Okay, so 3 times 2y is basically 6y, and 10 times 2x is 20x. So we can't do anything about 5xy, so we just copy 5xy. So now, so you could see that the second equation has been transformed into a new or into a different form. So 6y plus 20x is equal to 5xy. So we can start working with the simultaneous equation. We can continue working with the simultaneous equations. 3x plus 4y equals 38, and the new form of the other equation, which is now 6y plus 20x equals 5xy. So remember, at the start, I decided to make use of the substitution, so I have to work on one of these equations. And when you choose which one to work on first, you have to get the linear equation. Okay, so the second one is not a linear because we have x and y. Okay, we have two variables multiplied to each other. So how do we proceed? So we get 3x plus y, so 3x plus 4y rather equals 38, and we solve either x and y. okay, in terms of the other. So we could decide maybe x, maybe y. It's really up to you, okay. But in my solution, I will use y, okay. So first, 4y is equal to 38 minus 3x after applying some rules on equations, okay. So you should see that the two equations are basically the same. Then if I divide this by 4, and I divide this by 4 and by 4, so y is equal to 38 over 4 minus 3x over 4, or you can see that as 38 minus 3x over 4. So this is the y value. So this y will be used in the second equation, okay. It will replace all the y in the second equation. That is why it's called substitution. You are replacing a variable in the second equation coming from the simplified or coming from the y value of the first equation, okay. So the y and the 6y will change, and so will be the y and the 5xy. Okay, so what will happen next? So having y equals 38 minus 3x over 4, we can now go to this equation and change all the y by 38 minus 3x over 4. See the transformation? So 20x will remain as 20x, and 5xy will become 5x times 38 minus 3x over 4. Okay, and then just continue simplifying this. You'll have, so there are many ways in this step. I can like distribute 6 immediately, or just multiply it to the numerator, 38 minus 3x. So I have over 4. 20x will remain as 20x. And this one, I have 5x multiplied to 38 minus 3x over the 4. Okay? And still, just continue working on it until it becomes a simple expression. Okay, so let us distribute 6. So this would be, so that's about 48 and 4, 228 minus 18x. This is over 4. And then plus still 20x is equal to 5x times 38. That would be about 40 and 4, 190x minus 15x squared, because x times x is x squared, over 4. And still we can do more steps to simplify this. So as you can see, you have over 4 and over 4. I would like to eliminate the denominator. So that will be by multiplying both sides by 4. So the 4 in the first fraction will be cancelled. So you have 228 minus 18x. So it will get cancelled by 4. Okay? Then when you multiply 4 to 20x, you get 80, that's 80. So 80x. And then on the other side, so 4 will get cancelled with 4. So you have 190x minus 15x squared. Okay, so it's becoming simple and simple. Now, if you take a look at this equation, you should see that it will become ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So we apply more steps in simplifying this. So this will turn out to be, so I can have 228, so 228 minus 18x minus 80x, or plus 80x, minus 190x plus 15x x squared equals 0. And then, so this will be, so you combine and arrange the terms. We have 15 x squared because that's the highest exponent. Then 190 and 80, so that should be negative. I have this 2 to be negative 110, and then I have negative 18, so that should be negative 128. Okay, so it's negative 128x. And then we have plus 228. 228 and then equals 0. So to find the x, since the numbers are a bit large, I can use quadratic formula to find x. So that's negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So noting that a is 15, b is negative 128, and then c is equal to 228. Now can you factor it? You can try factoring this, but it might take some time, but you could also use factoring. But for me I can consider quadratic formula as a faster way of finding x if the numbers are large. Okay, so negative b is 128. That's negative 128. Plus or minus, it's negative 128 will get squared. Then you have 4 times a is 15 and c is 228. And then this will be divided by 2a, which is 2 times 15. So I'll just write 30. So all we have to do is to simplify this. So you need your calculator to work on the one inside the square root. So that's negative 128 squared, and then minus 4 times 15 times 228. So you should get 2704. And then this will be divided by 30. And if we get the square root of 2704, it should give us 52. So 128 plus or minus 52, and then divided by 30. So that means the x could take the value 128 is equal. So 128 plus 52 over 30, or x is equal to 128 minus 52 over 30. Okay? So there are two possible values for x. So simplifying each, we have 180 over 30, which is basically 6. And the other one, x is equal to 128 minus 52, that's about 6. 12 and 5 is 76. And 12 minus 5 is 7, so over 30. Reduce the lowest term by 2. This is 38 over 15. So there are two values for x. One is 6 and the other is 38 over 15. So we're very close to finding the answer to the simultaneous equations. We already found the values for x. The next step is to find the corresponding values for y. Okay? So remember, we have an equation for the y, and we found it to be 38 minus 3x over 4. So to find the y, so we use the x that we found. So if x is 6, so y is 38 minus 3 times 6 over 4. And this is 38 minus 18 over 4. 38 minus 18 is equal to 20. So 20 over 4 is equal to 5. So this means when x is equal to 6, y is equal to 5. So this is one of the solutions. Now the other one will come from the other x. So this time, if x is equal to 38 over 15, so we plug in, so y is equal to 38 minus 3, and then we have 38 over 15 all over 4. So this is 38, so this is 5, so 38 over 5 and then over 4. So from here, you have the option to calculate this using a calculator. You can continue doing this manually. So I'll just try to do it manually. So this is over 5, and then you have, because you have to change this into over 5. So 5 times 38 is, so this will be 190. And then minus 38 over 5, everything divided by 4. And then, so this is now 190 minus 38. So we have 152 over 5 over 4. So this should be equal to 152 over 20. That's 152 over 5 divided by 4. And then reducing 152 over 20. So this should give you 7 and 3/5. 7 and 3/5. So this will be the value of y. So when x is equal to 38 over 15, y is equal to 7 and 3/5. Now let's simplify 38 over 15. So that would be 2 and 8, 15. So the other x, so we have 2 and 8, 15. So we found the two solutions to the simultaneous equations. Okay, so now it took us a while to compute for the corresponding x and y, but basically the main idea, or the main thing that you should focus on, is on how to really work on the equations. The first problem was we had a fraction. Okay, so we decided to change it into another form so that we can eliminate the fractions. And then after that, we applied the substitution method. Then we follow the steps and so on and so forth until we get to a value of x. Okay, now unfortunately we had a quadratic equation in which the numbers are quite large, so we resorted to quadratic formula. Otherwise, we will just factor the quadratic equation, then we will be able to find the x. Okay, so after looking for the x, don't forget that you also have to find the corresponding values of y, and that will lead you to the solutions to these simultaneous equations. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you understand my explanation. So this is the summary. Okay, that's it.